Alright, hey, he's Mick here. I'm shooting a video in front of my dryer in my garage right here. Why? It is a video about a Rav4 Prime. Well, I'm going to be using the dryer outlet to charge the to power the EVSE to charge my Rav4 Prime. But why is that so special, Hades Mega? Well, because I'm going to use the stock charger that comes from the Rav4 Prime, right? Excuse me if I look a little sick, because I kind of am, right? I just recovered from COVID-19, and yeah, this is my first video back, so I'm already kind of winded. Anyway, so the video is about this guy, all right, mostly. So what this is a 515R to a 1430p plug. Okay, so this is a 515 receptacle. It's an adapter that goes from a 515 receptacle to a 1430 plug. Okay, basically that's what that is. All right, and so this is basically an extension cord that I wire to a 1430 plug. Okay, and here's a disclaimer. All right. Hades Vega is not an electrician, and if you watch my video and burn your house down, it's not my fault, okay? All right, that's your disclaimer right there, okay? But so from the interwebs, from what Hades Vega has learned, is that the stock Toyota EVSE, all right, for the Rav4 Prime and the Prius Prime, all right, this is where I kind of heard about it, anyways. The Prius Prime is capable of doing 120 volts and 240 volts, okay? So if you can add an extra 120 volts, you can double your charging, okay, basically. And well, your house is already capable of charging at 240 volts. You just have to find the right outlet, okay? And so my garage has a dryer that has a 1430 outlet, all right? The dryer uses a 1430 plug. And I've already have it set up for EVSE. Hades Mega used to own an electric motorcycle, and I use that dryer outlet. Basically, I have a splitter, all right, or like kind of like an extension cord, sorta, and it turns that one outlet into two outlets, okay. And I have the EVSE hooked up to one, and the dryer hooked up to one, all right. And you just gotta remember, don't run them at the same time, all right, or else you'll pop the circuit, all right. That's what Hades Mega has to remember anyways. That's my setup right here, okay? I don't really know how much power this dryer eats up anyways. We had to find out someday, but okay. Anyway, this is a leftover extension cord from my solar garage project, okay? The other half of this cord I used to make a cord that connects from my my inverter to the grid power in the garage. So it was used as a backup power source, okay, and that's what that wire was used for. All right, and so I had this extra wire hanging around. I was like, hey, you know what, I can still use that. So I'm trying to make an extension cord long enough so I can get the EVSE outside the garage, okay. So right now I'm using this Leviton, I think it's a Leviton EVSE, all right, and I kind of don't like it. It's kind of clunky and stuff. And this is the one I would use if I'm going on the road, all right. If I need to go to like an RV park and plug in and stuff, because it's got a bunch of different connectors on it. I actually like the Toyota one, all right. The Toyota EVSE is actually pretty good, and it doesn't care if you have a ground or not, too. Is what I found out. All right, it's an odd EVSE, and it's made by Toyota. It's the crazy stuff, right? Okay. So what will this allow you to do? If you can charge at 240 volts instead of 120 volts, you can double your charging current, all right? So where it takes, if you're empty, it takes what, 10 to like 12 hours to charge your Rav4 Prime at 120 volts. Well, you can pretty much cut that in half. It'll be like more like 5 hours to fully charge it, all right? It charges much faster, okay? And yeah, it'll eat up a lot more electricity. Okay, yeah. Is this safe to do? Yes. We'll find out in this video. That'll be the purpose of this experiment. But yeah, it should be safe. I think the stock charger will only draw like 12 amps. Okay. And if you have an extra 120 volts, it'll draw 12 amps on each leg. All right. So So I took a picture on how I made this, all right? So basically what I did is I cut the wire open, all right, and I exposed the 3 wires that are in here. There's a green wire, a white wire, and a black wire, all right? The black wire is a hot, the white's a neutral, and the green is a ground, all right? So basically that's how I wire this, all right? So instead of having 1 hot, we're gonna have 2 hots, okay? And I have 1 wire to the black and then 1 wire to the white, all right? So the white is basically the red, all right? If you guys know anything about wiring and stuff, there's a black wire and there's a red wire. Those are your 2 hot wires, all right? 2 different phases. And so each one of those legs should have 120 volts on it. So there should be 120 volts coming out of here and 120 volts coming out of here. And then there's a ground connected to this wire right here, okay? The prong. This one, there's nothing connected to it. There's no neutral, all right? We're converting like a 3-wire system to a 4-wire, all right? But there's no 4 wires. So is it safe to use? I think it is. I don't know. We'll find out. You still got a ground, so it should be safe. And it should be bonded at the panel too. So I think you'll be okay if you're only running 3 wires, okay? Instead of the 4, all right? So let's go hook this up, and I will go show you guys that it works, and then we'll do a practical experiment. We will charge my Rav4 Prime with it, and hopefully not burn it to the ground. All right, it's big up. Okay, let's see if my little adapter works. Okay, and yeah, I showed you already the pictures I used when I made it. Yeah. So if you think making this adapter is too much for you to handle, then I don't recommend making it. Okay, so like I said, you could burn your house down, that kind of stuff. Okay, Hazemega kind of knows what he's doing. Anyway, so here's my outlet right here. Okay, there's let me show you what I got going on back here. Okay, so here's what's going on back here. I've already got another EVSE. I got a Clipper Creek LCS 20 right here. All right, so right there is a 1430 plug, all right, and that connects to here and it branches out to these 2 receptacles, okay? This one is going to the dryer, all right, and then this one is supposedly supposed to go to the EVSE. This is supposedly supposed to connect to whatever, you know, the other EVSE. It was connected to this. This is what I was using to charge my motorcycle. Why isn't Hazemaker using this to charge his RAV4? Well, the cord doesn't reach, okay? So if I could use this extension cord, then we could use it. And plus, we gotta conduct to see if the Toyota EVSE can charge at 240 volts. Okay, so here I got a multimeter, all right? It's set to AC power already, all right? And we're gonna connect this guy. All right, so I'm gonna go plug this guy in. Make sure it's plugged in properly. Okay. I tested this earlier already, so. Okay, there's the voltmeter. I'm going to connect it, the black to the ground, all right, the 3rd prong, and I'm going to connect it to one of the other plugs, all right, and I should get 120 volts off of each one. So there's 123 volts, all right, and then I'm going to move it to the other one, and I should have another 120 something volts, 123 volts, okay? So if you add those up together, that's like 246 volts, all right? That's what we need. All right, so if this was a 120 volt outlet, only one side will be 120, okay? Then the other one would be 0. Okay. There we go. Okay. So it works. So let's go to the next step. Alright. Okay, I got my key on me. Alright, let's go get the EVSE. Let's put that in my pocket. First, let's okay, so really the only way that we can check to see what the rate of charge is if we look in and we check how much the time the charge would take, okay? So let's do this, all right? And so we'll get we'll see how long it takes to charge from the 120 volts. Okay. So right now, I got it plugged into a 120 volt outlet. All right. This is the Toyota charger. Okay. Okay. Plug it in. Should start charging. Okay. Solid green. Alright, we're going to get inside the vehicle. Alright, and it says it's going to take 4 hours to charge, alright, because it's got like 80% charge left. Okay. Alright, 4 hours to charge. Remember that, alright? So, when we plug it into the 240 volts, it should take 2 hours to charge, right? Okay. So we're going to go unplug it. Okay. And then we're going to go move the EVSE over to the 240 volt outlet in the garage. Before we do anything, let's just plug it in first and see if it even powers up, if it doesn't explode or anything. Okay, guys? So this is the moment of truth to see if the interwebs is right. You can use this to connect to a 240 volt outlet, all right? So you guys know that we're that this is 240 volts right here, okay? All right, so make sure you don't plug in 120 volt appliance to this, or else it may blow up, okay? But first, we're just gonna plug it in and see if it powers up. Okay, here we go. Ooh, it plugged in just fine. It says powered. Okay, so let's have at it. All right, I didn't get any kind of fault light or anything on it. I think it's fine. Okay. I think if you got a fault light, this light turns on. Okay. Okay, guys. So what I've done is I've stretched the cord out more, so I don't have to, so the cord will reach the vehicle. Okay. I might have to reverse the vehicle. I'm not sure, but let's see if it works. It's plugged in. Okay. It looks like we'll reach. He makes a little nervous. Okay, let's unlock my charge port again. Okay, I'll plug this guy in. Okay, I heard a click on the vehicle, and I heard a click from the EVSE. And it looks like it's charging. The green light is on, so the orange light and the green light are on the EVSE. Okay. So let's go into the vehicle. It's charging. Should be solid green. Yep, solid green. And there you go. There you go, guys. 2 hours and 30 minutes. All right, not quite half, but if you remember, it was 4 hours, so you would think it would be 2 hours, but it cut an hour and a half off the charge time, so it definitely is charging faster. Okay, there we go. It's been charging for a few minutes. Let me go feel this. I wish there was like an adapter. It looks like there's some kind of adapter that you can connect to this to change the plug, but they don't sell it or anything. I'm just monitoring to see if it gets hot, you know. Make sure the connectors don't get too hot. Hayes Mega suggests you use a really heavy-duty extension cord. Okay, this is a pretty heavy-duty one right here. All right, as long as it's heavy-duty. All right, just make sure you use a heavy-duty extension cord. All right, and it's rated for the full, you know, like a 15 amp circuit. Okay. So I think this will only draw, I wish I had a way to check, but this will only draw 12 amps. All right, so right now it's drawing 24 amps actually. Okay, so that's perfect. There'll be like 12 amps on each side, each leg. Okay, but there we go. None of this stuff is getting too hot. Okay, it looks like it's fine. It's legit, man. So there you go. What the interweb said about the Toyota EVSE charging, being able to charge at 240 volts is valid, guys. It is charging right now at 240 volts. It's about 3 kilowatts. It's charging at 3 kilowatts. I don't have the 6 kilowatt. That makes me wonder, if I had the one with the faster charger, how fast would it charge from that EVSE? That's a good question. I don't know how many. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think that charges faster than the 3 kilowatts. All right, I don't think you can pull out more than 30 amps from that EVSE. Okay, guys, that's my guess. Because that's the wiring. That EVSE supposedly is designed only for 15 amp circuit. All right, that means it only draws like 12 amps. If you were to charge at 6 kilowatts, it would be around like 30 or 40 amps. Like a lot. That's a lot of power. Like it's like doubled output. So I don't know. I don't have the XSE with the premium package, so I guess we'll never find out, guys. Maybe that comes with a different charge EVSE. I'm not sure, but I really don't see you need to charge faster than this, especially with a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. The battery is just not that big, okay? But yeah, it's nice to be able to charge fast. It's nice to be able to charge fast when you're not at home, okay? But when you're at home, you kind of do have time to charge. Okay, let's see how much charge time is left. Okay, it says 2 hours and 30 minutes. Same amount of time. Okay, so. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a kind of more like an experimentation video, and like you guys saw, like when I saw that, yeah, you could use 240 volts through the stock EVSE. All right, you just need to make an adapter for it. All right. Different houses have different 240 volt outlets is what I'm gonna say. Okay, my house has a 1430 for the dryer. That's the one I'm using. There's a 650, there's a 1450, so you're gonna have to get the right plug. Does it matter if you're running a lower wattage appliance through a higher wattage receptacle? No, it doesn't. All right, that just means you definitely won't strip the breaker. Okay, it only draws however much power it needs to draw. Okay, and we're only drawing like 24 amps. Okay, 12 amps through each leg. All right. That being said, yeah, make sure the wiring in your house is right. All right, so this is a 30 amp socket, so there should be a 30 amp breaker. Okay. If not, you may pop the breaker, and this may not work for you. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't think you can use a 20 amp outlet. You may need to lower the charge current or something. I don't know, man. But it works with a 30 amp circuit just fine. It's still charging right now. Okay, yeah. So you're just gonna have to make an adapter for the outlet that you have at your house. All right. If you have a 1430 like my house does, then you can do that. All right, you can do exactly what I did. All right, if you have like a 650 or 1450, or I don't know, there's a bunch of them out there. There's a 1030. I used to have a 1030 at one of my houses. Those are like dryer outlets or welding outlets, you know, that kind of stuff. 240 volt outlets. Then you're gonna have to get the specific plug for that outlet and make an adapter for it. There may be some adapters that you can buy on the internet. But I had this extension cord lying around, and I said, hey, I'm gonna use it. So all I did was buy that 1430 plug, and I just wired it to it. Okay, and it took me maybe like 30 minutes to do. Okay, so well, there you go. I hope you guys learned something. There's how to operate your 120 volt stock Toyota Rav4 Prime EVSE. How to operate it in 240 volts. All right, you just basically got to make an adapter for it, and then it'll do it. Why Toyota doesn't? I know why doesn't Toyota sell an adapter for this? I don't know, because it's capable of it. I have to say I'm quite impressed with that EVSE. That is the least fussy EVSE I've ever encountered. Okay, it doesn't care if you have a proper ground, and it doesn't care if you're using 120 or 240 volts. All right, it like does it all and doesn't complain. So It's a pretty little impressive piece of engineering there, Toyota. Because I can tell you this: if I plug that Clipper Creek charger into like a not properly grounded outlet, it won't run. All right, it'll say ground fault. All right, but that EVSE, that thing will run even with the ground fault. So it just makes you wonder how safe it is to use. But I've never had any kind of fault from it, so I think it's fine. It's actually a really good unit. I'm quite impressed with it. All right. So if I can snag like one up from like a crashed Prius Prime or something, I might snag another one up. All right, but not for very much. Okay. The only thing I don't like about the stock EVSE is it's kind of big. Like it's the shape of like a brick or something, you know, like most EVSEs. It's not very portable, but it's a pretty good unit. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out. Hope you learned something.